How's it going, everyone? I want to go over a long-awaited free-to-play title that's coming to the PlayStation 4. Obviously, it's going to be playable on the PlayStation 5 through backwards compatibility, but it is Ubisoft's Roller Champions. This has been announced for quite a while, and it's finally seeing its release, and it'll be coming very soon, next week on May the 25th, so we'll talk about that. Star Wars KOTOR, the PlayStation 5 Remake, looks to be getting some news in the next several months, and PlayStation Network sales. You guys know we talk about those on the channel quite a bit. Well, there seems to be a reason why the PlayStation Store runs so many sales, and that's because they generate a lot of money. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but first up, Roller Champions is hitting the PS4 next week on May 25th. There's a new cinematic trailer that just went up from Ubisoft. I know that maybe this is a game to our audience might not be something you guys are going to get super excited for, but it is a free-to-play title, and hey, free-to-play PvP games, they definitely do have an audience, and this one being a 3v3 title, I think it looks pretty interesting. The game notes, Roller Champions is a 3v3 sports game where you go head-to-head against the opposing team through speed, wit, crushing tackles, and daring dodges. Be the first team to reach 5 points by throwing the ball through the hoop, and they go over some tips on how to play the game on their official website. Gather your team and compete. Team up with up to 2 players and dive into Roller Champions gameplay, which combines fun competitive action and collaborative team play. Take advantage of passes, tackles, and team moves to win against your opponents and climb the leaderboards. Create and customize your sports legend. Create your own character and customize your outfit as you progress. Unlock the best gear as you progress, including skates, helmets, fresh attire, gloves, goal effects, emotes, air poses, player titles, and banners. Obviously, you'll be able to build your fame, unlock different sponsors, and complete their contracts to get rewards, climb the ranks, and compete in different game modes. Again, this will be out on May 25th, so right around the corner. You can check this out next week for free, so it'll be a free download. You won't have to spend $1 on it. I'm sure that they'll have, microtransactions in the game, especially with the cosmetic aspect to the game, but nonetheless, it'll be available free next week. Alright, moving on from that, Star Wars KOTOR PlayStation 5 Remake news is coming in the next several months. This is coming from the Q4 Embracer Group report. The owner of the developers of the game, Aspyr Media, board member Matthew Kari, explained how Saber Interactive is also lending a hand with the development of the game, and the game is being basically remade from scratch, noting Aspyr has gone full into making this the best game they can make. When we acquired Aspyr, we knew from the start that they would require assistance. Saber has tremendous expertise in creating these types of products. We've done it on Halo, on multiple Halo products. We've done it on other titles that we've remastered over on other platforms. We're fully confident that the game is going to be fantastic, but it's massive product, and massive products require a lot of effort and a lot of time to make good, and especially when you're talking about a game already old, very old. We basically had to remake the game from scratch. I would say in the next several months you'll be hearing more from us about it. Now, this is a game I remember when I saw the reveal and I just saw the brief trailer and it being a PlayStation 5 game, I was like, bro, we're not getting this game for a long time, are we? Yeah, like, you guys know how I feel about that, hearing about games years and years before launch, but who knows, maybe this will be a 2023 game, but I would more so expect 2024, 2025, if we are going to hear information about it in the next couple months. There's a lot of events going on. PlayStation will eventually be having their own showcase. Obviously, Summer Game Fest is right around the corner, but not every game is going to be at Summer Game Fest. Like, we talked about FF7 Remake Part 2 potentially being there, but you can't have every game under the sun on the same show. That just doesn't make a sense, because then you just have too much going on, but that is going to be a big event for game reveals and game updates and things of that nature. And I could see a game at this level and at this caliber being at an event like that, but I would more so point towards it being at a big PlayStation showcase. I think the next PlayStation showcase, they have to make something pretty darn big, because Microsoft is doing their own major showcase where they're showing off a ton of stuff. I would imagine the next PlayStation showcase is going to be a big one, especially after the last one wasn't anything people got super excited about with like Valkyrie Elysium and the DioField Chronicle, but I would expect the next one to be pretty big. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, obviously, those of you guys that play it know that it's one of the greatest RPGs of all time, and it's heralded as such, but the game definitely does show its age. I wanted to try playing it again like a couple of years ago, and I'm sure there's mods and whatnot on PC that make the game a little bit more accessible to a modern audience, but yeah, a full-on PS5 remake is going to be quite nice for that game. And given that, when KOTOR came out, has it been nearly 2 decades? It's been a long time, and you know, you're talking about also that game now being for a different audience as well, because there's a lot of people that have grown quite a bit since the release of Knights of the Old Republic 1. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic 1 came out in 2003, so by the time the KOTOR PS5 remake comes out, it will definitely have been 20 years, so kind of wild to see it actually getting a remake, but obviously incredibly exciting, and that's coming from someone that's not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. Lastly, I do want to note the PlayStation Network currently generates over $14 billion in sales. This is coming from the corporate strategy meeting. Sony Group revealed that PSN sales currently amount to over $14 billion across over 100 million accounts. Chairman, President, and CEO Kenichiro Yoshida said that the network remains Sony's largest direct-to-consumer service, and it is an important aspect to the business. Obviously, I really wanted to make note of this just because we do PSN sales videos all the time, and I always see comments of people saying, man, I've spent so much money on PlayStation Store sales, and yeah, like, we see sales pretty regularly, and a lot of you guys are like, man, these are just the same games over and over again, but they are different people buying these games. That's the big deal. And you know, by far on our channel, consistently, our PSN sales videos do the best views on the channel, and we gain the most subscribers, and people seem to like those videos the most, and they have been just perpetually growing and growing. Obviously, it's always a peak on those videos whenever we do them in the fall during the holiday period. Like, when we upload those videos in the fall, they do insanely well. Throughout, you know, the earlier portion of the year, they still do remarkably well, and a lot of people are buying a lot of games. Sometimes I definitely see the comments, and I'm definitely guilty of this too. Less so these days, but, you know, buying 100 games and having 100 games in your backlog may not be the most, you know, the most ideal thing in the world and the most intelligent thing in the world, but I know a lot of you guys definitely, maybe not 100 games, but you have a significant backlog. Make sure you're tackling that backlog, especially as we're in this more quiet time of new game releases. But yeah, I would imagine that PSN sales are going to continue to roll out pretty consistently, especially as, man, the library as far as downloadable games, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and if you're talking about at some point, let us pray to the heavens that PlayStation 3 games will be buyable as well, or they'll just be integrated into the premium service, whether you want to buy the game or sign up for the service. You know, that's going to add a plethora of games as well, and hopefully at some point, I don't expect it to be anytime soon, but that could be another avenue to add a ton of games, and games are rolling out so much these days. You know, PSN does not get as many games as, let's say, a platform like Steam, but it's definitely getting a healthy share of new games every week. Maybe not the biggest games every week, but you're getting, you know, your Wildcat Gun Machines, your Trek to Yomi's, games of that caliber coming out pretty darn regularly, and that's just expanding the library. And you know people aren't buying games like that every week, so you're waiting for these PlayStation Store sales, and then, you know, you might just be looking and you're like, hey, I never checked this game out, it's 75% off, let me buy it that way. And obviously that's a pretty smart thing to do if you're not tackling games you buy right away. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, Roller Champions coming next week. KOTOR information on the PS5 remake, hopefully we'll get that over the summer, I would imagine. I think that would be a good time frame to put that at. And PSN sales doing very well for Sony's bottom line. But that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.